Tina the tiger had the stripiest stripes in the whole jungle, orange, black, and full of wiggles. She loved to pounce, bounce, and flounce around her den, which was bursting with colorful toys and sparkly things. Playing was her favorite thing, but Tina had a big problem. She never tidied up. After building block towers or painting purple pineapples, she left everything where it fell. Her room became a masterpiece of muddle, a terrific tumble of toys and a glorious jumble of jungle junk. Every morning, Tina leapt out of bed, hopping over books, skipping around socks, and dodging yesterday's juice puddles. To her, the mess was an obstacle course of fun. She'd slide on banana skins and land in piles of cuddly toys, never seeing the mess, just more things to play with. Her mum, wise and patient, would sigh, "A tidy den is a happy den, Tina," but Tina would just grin, "But a messy den is a fun den, Mom," and pounce on a stray pillow, sending feathers flying. Feathers were fun, and Tina thought her room was perfect just the way it was. But she was about to discover that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't. One day something happened that would change Tina's mind about her magnificent mess. It all started with a missing friend. But for now, Tina was still bouncing, blissfully unaware. The adventure was about to begin. The mess was about to matter, and Tina was about to learn something new. The morning of the Great Jungle Picnic arrived, and Tina was bursting with excitement. She needed her best toy friend, Barnaby the bouncing bear. But Barnaby was missing. Tina searched her bed, just blankets and Beatles storybooks. She peered under the bed, only lost crayons, a red welly, and a sad half-eaten biscuit. "Barnaby!" she called, her voice wobbly. She dug through dress-up clothes, flinging hats and scarves. No Barnaby. She rummaged through puzzles, sending pieces flying. No Barnaby. The more she searched, the bigger the mess grew, a chaotic cyclone of clutter. Tears welled in Tina's eyes. She sat down with a thump on a squeaky rubber chicken. "Oh, Barnaby," she whispered, "I can't find you anywhere. The picnic is ruined." The room was a muddle puddle of epic proportions. Tina's best friend was lost somewhere in the magnificent mess. She sniffled, feeling hopeless. The honey cakes and games wouldn't be the same without Barnaby. Tina realized her mess wasn't just fun anymore, it was a problem. She needed help. But first, she needed hope. Maybe, just maybe, someone would come to the rescue. The adventure wasn't over yet. Tina wiped her tears, determined to keep searching. The Great Jungle Picnic would have to wait. Finding Barnaby was all that mattered now. Just as Tina's second tear was about to fall, Leo the lion and Ziggy the zebra appeared in her doorway, picnic basket in hand. "Ready for the picnic, Tina?" Leo asked, but stopped when he saw her sad face and the wild mess. "Whoa," whispered Ziggy, "it looks like a toy tornado hit." Tina sniffled. "I can't find Barnaby the bouncing bear." Leo puffed out his chest. "A lost bear? This is a job for the cleanup crew." Ziggy nodded. "That's us. We'll find Barnaby." Leo tried his mighty roar to blow the mess into a corner. Curtains fluttered, feathers danced, but the toys barely budged. Ziggy zipped around the room, creating a whirlwind of flying toys and dust, but only made the mess worse. "Oops," said Ziggy, dizzy and surrounded by chaos. Tina managed a tiny giggle through her tears. The cleanup crew's first attempts hadn't worked, but at least they were trying. It was time for a new plan. Maybe, just maybe, teamwork could save the day. The search for Barnaby was about to become something more. The mess was their mission, and the cleanup crew was ready to begin. Together, they would tackle the tumble of toys, and maybe, just maybe, find Barnaby. Tina wiped her eyes and looked at the mountain of mixed-up socks. "Let's start small. Let's sort the socks," she suggested. Leo boomed, "A sock-sorting spectacle. Splendid idea." Ziggy made it a game. "Let's see who can make a pair first." They sang a silly sock song as they worked, matching stripes and spots, giggling at banana socks and doing victory dances. Slowly, the pile of paired socks grew, and the messy mountain shrank. Tina felt a warm glow. Teamwork was making things right. The room felt brighter, less chaotic. They hadn't found Barnaby, but they'd found a fun way to tidy up together. As they folded the last rainbow-striped pair, they admired their neat drawer. The great sock-sorting spectacle was a success. The cleanup crew was just getting started. Next up, a teetering mountain of books. "Let's make a book-passing chain," declared Leo. Leo grabbed books from the pile, Tina passed them along, and Ziggy stacked them neatly on the shelf. They read silly titles aloud, using funny voices and making up songs. The pile shrank, the bookshelf filled, and the corner cleared. Soon, all the books stood tall and proud in neat rows. Tina ran her paw along the spines. They looked so happy, all together where they belonged. The room was starting to look like a room again, not a jumble sale. Tidying up with friends was turning out to be the best game of all. The cleanup crew was on a roll, the mess was shrinking, and hope was growing. Barnaby was still missing, but the adventure continued. The room was transforming, one step at a time, and Tina was learning that tidying could be fun. The last challenge? The overflowing toy box. "Everything else goes in here," Tina announced. Leo, Ziggy, and Tina marched, chanting, "We tidy to the left, we tidy to the right. We make the room all clean and bright." Blocks, cars, kites, and sparkly things were put away gently. The floor was finally clear. You could dance on it. Tina looked around, heart bubbling with happiness. And then she saw him, Barnaby, tucked at the back of the toy chest, waiting patiently. "Barnaby!" Tina cried, hugging her bear tight. Leo and Ziggy cheered. The cleanup crew did it. The room was clean, bright, and beautiful. Tina could see everything. No more tripping or searching. The adventure was complete. Tina had found her friend, and something even more important, a love for tidying up. Tina hugged Barnaby, looking around her tidy, sunlit room. Everything had a home, and everything was in its place. "Thank you," she said to Leo and Ziggy. "I couldn't have done it without you." "That's what friends are for," Leo smiled. "And it was fun," Ziggy danced. "The sock sorting was my favorite." Tina realized tidying hadn't been a chore, it had been an adventure. They'd sung, played, and worked as a team. Suddenly, Tina had an idea. "Let's have our picnic right here, a tidy room picnic." They spread out the blanket, unpacked honey cakes and mango juice, and celebrated in the clean room. Barnaby sat in the middle, enjoying a crumb of cake. Tina knew she'd never let her room get that messy again, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. A tidy room meant she could always find her friends. As she took a big bite of cake, she smiled. "Tidying up," she declared, "is the best game ever." And so, Tina the Tidy Tiger and her friends enjoyed their picnic, their friendship, and their wonderfully tidy room. The adventure was over, but the lesson would last forever. The end. Roll credits with cheerful music and a final shot of Tina, Barnaby, Leo, and Ziggy laughing together.